Am I the asshole for not letting my mother invite whoever she wants to my wedding? And declining +1s. So me and my partner are getting married in August, and we have had RSVPs back from people who say they are coming and add A+1 to the invite, and I have trouble confronting people to tell them no. But my real am I the asshole grievance is my mother. She randomly calls and tells me to add this cousin or that cousin because they are family. A side of the family I have little to no contact with because after my father passed away when I was 16, my mother upped and left me about 2 years later to deal with a broken house and no income while she went back to live with her parents. So am I the asshole here for telling her no and she can't just invite whoever she likes? Not the asshole, it's your wedding. It's super rude for people to just tack on A+1 when it's not on their invite. What the fuck d? Not the asshole at all. It's incredibly rude of your mom and the people adding +1s. Not the asshole. Polish up your spine, it's hard but it'll make you hate your wedding day looking back realizing how much you let your mom get away with because you don't want to be confrontational. Guests that put a +1 on the invite, make one email telling that there is a limit on the number of guests, and that you understand they want to not come if they're asked to come alone, but that you are not extending +1s. For your mom, simply tell her that you are doing the inviting, not her. Sadly, you need a bouncer now, because shit will hit the fan. And #X200B. Not the asshole. My mother tried to add guests on, so I asked her where she'd like me to send her invoice to. I then explained that additional guests would require more staff so she would need to pay. Additional table $80, additional chair $15, PP dinner $165, PP drinks package $30, PP additional staff $20 per hour, including set up and pack down. So, $450 for the first person and $210 for each person after that. Surprisingly, she opted not to invite anyone. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. My mill tried to pull the same thing by inviting a bunch of her friends, that my fiancé and I had only met a few times. It was ridiculous, especially since we wanted such a small wedding 20 people and didn't even invite half my family. My family is huge. Info: is she paying anything for the wedding? Not the asshole, it's your wedding, not your mother's. Not the asshole for mother's side. About the +1 esh. If you sent me an invite, and I could not come with my wife, that would seem super weird. I would automatically assume she also comes. If she cannot come, I would not come either. Not the asshole. The default is for the couple to do all invitations, she's out of line to do any. Not the asshole. Your wedding. Your money. Your rules. Some people want to keep things intimate or can't afford to feed the country for their weddings. You should perhaps contact people that wrote in A+1 and tell them there is limited space. Not the asshole. Tell anyone who added a +1, I'm sorry, but we can't accommodate added guests. Not the asshole. Your wedding, your rules. Not the asshole. Your wedding, your rules. Question. Are the people who added +1s in a relationship? If so, then it's super rude to not invite a couple as a social unit. Also, tell your mother a B list or invites is also super rude and you don't want to do that. End of story. Not the asshole. I have had the same discussion with my mom at my wedding. My mom has a different approach to family, and in her culture, she's from former Yugoslavia, weddings are a big event, where you can show off and invite everyone. My sister got a Croatian wedding, which my dad had to pay for, with 400+ guests, the majority I didn't even know. When I chose the ball and chain, winking face. We paid for our wedding alone and had about 40 ppl. And I had to shut down her as well on each suggestion. It's a difficult task, I know. But stay strong. And #X200B. Also, with the +1, just tell them, budget is tight and you feel sorry. Not the asshole. Send her a Venmo request for the cost of the next cousin she wants to invite. If she really wants them there, she can pay for them. Maybe that will change her mind about how important it is that some random cousin attends. Not the asshole. Weddings aren't just family fun, they cost money. Every person invited is a set amount you have to budget for. On this basis alone, adding +1s when the invitation does not include it is rude. If they all do it, they could double the cost of the event. It's absolutely reasonable to say no. The named individuals on an invitation are who you're expecting to make room for and no one else. Your mother needs to be reminded that she's not the one getting married. It's not up to her who's important to the bride and groom, she doesn't get to decide who they should share their day with. Not the asshole, and she is super entitled to think she can just invite whoever she wants. Not the asshole. Your wedding, your day, your decisions, your choices, your rules. Not the asshole. You have a budget, each person costs money. Contact everyone and tell them, I'm sorry, because of budget and capacity issues with the venue, we cannot honor +1s. If this changes your decision about coming, I understand. This is not about how much I love you or don't love you, it just is what it is. Info: are any of the +1s a married couple that you didn't invite the spouse? Absolutely not the asshole. It's your wedding and you should invite exactly who you like, and not one person more. Not the asshole, but please add an edit to your post clarifying that your mom is not paying for anything, as that information could change the judgment. But yes, you are paying, so you get full control of the guest list. If you don't have a day of wedding coordinator, I recommend getting one. They are excellent for handling anything unwelcome that happens on your wedding day, definitely as it comes to unwanted guests. Not the asshole. Your wedding, your decisions. If she wants to see them, she can have her own party at her home. Also, very sad to see that people are just adding +1s on the invite. Hopefully they won't show up at the wedding unannounced. Saw a lot of Reddit posts with this faux pas and having the bride and groom cornered because they didn't find a babysitter. So +2 or +3 are here. Just send a mail to all the invitees with the message there's a limit of people and adding willy-nilly +1s isn't on the table to discuss. Not the asshole, it's your wedding, not her mother's, and she shouldn't be inviting all kinds of people to your wedding. Not the asshole, it's your wedding. My mother invited her friends to my wedding as well, she had to uninvite them, and my brother tried to pressure me to invite the extended family, large family. This would have resulted in a guest list of 150+ people. We kept it at 30. If nobody else is going to pay for it, then they have no say in it. Are the people adding +1s in a relationship, or are they trying to bring a friend? If they are in a relationship, you're the asshole for requesting they honor your relationship while ignoring theirs. If it's just them adding a friend so they'll know someone at your wedding, you're not ta. With regards to your mother, keep putting your foot down. Not the asshole. My mill did this with my first wedding to my late husband that we were paying for on a tight budget. But my late husband just let it slide, as he wanted a huge traditional wedding and had a huge family. Ended up being mostly people I didn't know. Very awkward. Plus, because the guest list was so big and we had to spend so much on food, I had to do literally everything else myself. Print my own invitations, make my own bouquets with fake flowers that I got for a discount, make seriously cheap favors, etc. It sucked. You do you. Put your foot down. Not the asshole. I'm in a similar boat, but not so bad. If people want to add a +1, you just have to explain you can't afford it, or don't have the space, they'll understand it's your wedding. In terms of your mom, I'll tell you to say to her what I said to mine. If you want them, you're paying for them. I didn't speak to them before the wedding and I won't after, so I'm not paying them to come. FCK the pandemic, it's your damn day. Not the asshole. Everyone always acts so entitled to an invitation, bringing their friends, extended family, etc. It is your damn day, you have to power to yes and no who shows. My fiancé and I are having a very small ceremony and literally only invited must-haves, and I have a huge family. Oh well for them. The ceremony is small to save money, big honeymoon planned, and because we're doing it for us and no one else. We don't care to have a ton of people there to watch, and more people equals more money spent. People need to stop being so entitled and thinking they have a say when they do not, in fact, have one. I hope the wedding is beautiful and congrats on loving someone so much that you want to government involved. LMAO, it's a joke my fiancé makes, please don't take offense. Not the asshole. It's your wedding, your guest list. End. Info: are the +1 for their married spouse to attend with them? If so, you are the asshole, because it is a major etiquette breach to invite only half of a married couple to a wedding, and you really need to accept those +1. However, if it is just someone wanting to bring a date, you are absolutely right to reject those +1, because a guest is not allowed to decide to invite other guests except for a spouse, because they are considered as a social unit. Unless your mother is paying for the wedding, your mother does not determine the guest list. She can make suggestions and you can say no without any need to explain. Not the asshole, she isn't paying. Info: who is paying for the wedding? Not the asshole. Your wedding. Your day. Your invites. End of story. Enjoy your day, be with those that you love and that care about you and your happiness. I hope your day is beautiful and you and your partner enjoy all the festivities. Not the asshole. I'll give you the same advice I give anyone with wedding planning woes: forget the big production and spending tons of money. Hop a flight to Vegas and save yourself the grief. Not the asshole. And you can always tell the people adding their +1s that it isn't possible to accommodate their unexpected extra guest due to social distancing. Honestly, why do people think this is acceptable? Were they raised in a barn? No offense to actual barn animals, most of whom are better behaved than these people. It's your day. Do whatever TF you want. I wish you and your partner the best. Not the asshole, it's your wedding. This is something that everyone needs to get through their heads. People who inconvenience others at their own weddings need to use their own money to throw their own wedding so they can keep their bullshit there. When it comes to your mother, not the asshole. You can invite and not invite whoever you'd like. For the +1s, info: why can't people bring a date? Is there a specific reason? Honestly, I'd find it very rude if someone were to invite me to a wedding with the expectation that I would not bring my partner. Potentially, if it were a work friend or something, I wouldn't think it was rude, but I probably would not attend. Not the asshole. Tell her she can invite who she wants to her wedding but not to yours. She can also be the one telling the ones she has invited that they aren't. Not the asshole. As someone who has lived through family not being close or toxic members and ones that are just flat out shitty people, I definitely don't see an issue with you letting people know who can and cannot come. It is your wedding. It is your special day. Anyone who has an issue with that needs to realize it's not about them. You have every right to invite people you love, know well, and truly want there. Honestly, nobody in your family had the right to say you need to invite anyone if you didn't already do so or feel comfortable doing so. It's all up to you and your soon-to-be married partner. It's nobody else's decision to make. Not the asshole. Your party, your guest list. If you want to accommodate her, give her a max, say 6 for whoever she wants. She, then, can pick among the shirttail relatives, and choose which are most important to her. As for the others who are adding +1s, that's easy. Sorry, we cannot accommodate your +1 in the venue. If it means you have to send regrets, we totally understand. Oh, you'll need to deputize bouncers or a wedding planner to enforce your policy. Not the asshole. You'd be well within your rights to not invite her. You'd be well within your rights to fly to Vegas and get married tomorrow with no one there. Parents seem to think they have rights over their adult children. Parents seem to think they have more rights to control even their young children than they do. They only get away with it when the children cave. Don't cave. Not the asshole. In her wedding, she could invite whoever she wanted to. Now it's your turn to invite. This sounds a lot like my family. Are you or your mother from a country out of the USA? Sticky situation. In the States, it's your wedding and you should invite whoever you invite. To a foreigner like my parents, their kid's wedding is a get-together of the elders to flex how their kid's wedding looks to the family and ironically, doesn't consider it the most important day for you. My opinion though, not the asshole either way. Not the asshole. I have one friend outside of family. Most family I don't talk to. The most I'm going to invite to my wedding at this point, even though I'm not dating, is about 15 from my side. No bridesmaids, maybe dogs, and I want the groom and me to walk down the aisle together. Info: is she paying for the wedding? Not the asshole. Learn to say no. Not the asshole. First, people shouldn't assume they can have a +1 at a wedding. If you wanted them to have one, you would have said so on the invite. Second, your mother needs to back off. Just because they are family doesn't mean they automatically get an invite. You have no relationship with them, so you shouldn't have to invite them. There are a number of my family members who wouldn't be invited if I ever get married, and if someone has a problem with that, they can just not go either.